All right, so let's talk about what happens after an appraisal when a house comes in low, right? Because a lot of times in this market right now, the appraiser value sometimes comes in lower than what you're actually buying the house for, right? Or the loan amount that you are borrowing. So if the house appraisal comes back lower than the purchase price, the buyer has a few options to keep the deal alive, right? So first of all, stay calm, right? Don't go crazy. Don't argue with the appraiser, okay? Because I'm pretty sure they appraised it because that's what they thought, right? So don't argue with them. Number one is stay calm. After you stay calm, the first thing you could do is you can make up the difference in cash, right? For instance, we're purchasing a property. It's $1 million property, okay? The appraisal came back at 900,000. Okay, so we could bring the difference, which would be 100 grand in this case, to the closing table. So number one is make up the difference in cash. If you don't have the cash, the other thing you could do is shift some down payments to make up the difference. So for instance, on this property we were putting down say like 200, and then instead we would put down 100, make up the difference, right? Obviously borrowing more money, right? So that could be an option. Not the best, but it is an option, right? If the appraisal comes in lower. Now, you can appeal the appraisal, but if it's the same bank and they use the same appraiser, guess what? It's probably going to be a long shot, right? That person is probably going to stand by what they thought the initial appraisal was. So we did that. We had it reappraised, came back at 905, from 900 to 905, because sometimes the appraisers are not exactly from the area, right? So, one thing they shouldn't do that they do is they may compare this property in this town with another property in a different town, which you can't really do all the time, right? That's not the smartest way to appraise. Now, assuming that didn't work, right? You can always cancel the contract, or the other thing you could do is go to a different lender, get an extension, and have the different lender basically run the numbers again, go with a lender that's more local where they know the property. So talk to a smaller bank maybe, right? One of the local banks. And then what you can do is go buy the same property, keep the same terms and conditions, don't kill the deal, and at the end of the day, have it reappraised if you know the value is there, right? And then that's what we did, and we ended up having it reappraised, and it appraised over $1 million at what we needed it to appraise. So those are some of the things. Just because a house doesn't appraise doesn't mean the deal can't stay together. And those are some of the things you can do when an appraisal comes in low. The sun's in my face. I'm over here working past the sunset, and I hope that helps you all, right? So those are just some of the things you can do if the appraisal on the house you're buying comes in low, because I know that's not always fun. Just stay calm. You got this. Enjoy the house. If you need any real estate help, follow the links below.